Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Last week we did the swim specific S&C. I will link that above. Please do go and check that out. And now we are moving on to the bike specific S&C.
We'll kind of run with this video, I think, the same as we kind of ran with the last video, where we look at the aims for the bike, which is to obviously generate as much power as we can through each pedal in order to travel faster, propulsion. So it's similar, very similar to the swim.
Yeah.
And we then look at how do we do that, specifics. As I mentioned in the swim one, some of these correlate. So you don't have to do 3 specific S&C sessions if that's what you're thinking. Although these videos are swim, bike and run, a lot of the exercises transfer to one another.
Yeah, definitely.
But we then look at other things as well, and we look at absolute strength, which is let's look at Eddie Hall, for example. He has a huge amount of absolute strength. He can lift a lot.
He's a
pounds.
big human being.
But a cyclist also needs that.
Yeah.
Because to get relative strength, I'm talking a lot of maybe confusing words. Yeah, a lot of strength. But in order to get the relative strength, which is power to weight ratio, okay. So in order to have a greater power to weight, oh my god, this is a mouthful. In order to have a greater power to weight ratio, we need to have more absolute strength.
Right. Okay.
If you can squat 200 kg, your power to weight ratio is going to be a lot higher than if you can squat 100 kg.
Okay.
So it's easier to probably increase our strength than it is to decrease our body weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in triathlon.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I'd like to think most people that are watching this channel will go, yeah, I need to increase my strength, not decrease my body weight.
I need to lose loads of weight.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
And we then look at a third strength. We're covering all of these so far, I know. Which is explosive strength.
Okay.
And we can kind of do this specific really on the bike, but we can also do this outside, which will help assist that. And think of a velodrome cyclist. Think of like Chris Hoy. He has got so much explosive strength.
Oh yeah.
Look at the Tour de France. When people attack the hills, they have got so much explosive strength and a great power to weight ratio. Look at end of races. The Tour de France at the very end of a race. What powers are mad, aren't they?
Mad, isn't it? They've been racing for 6-7 hours, and then they can go and bust out like nearly 2,000 watts or something. It's a joke.
Yeah. As you can see, we've just gone through 3 different strengths there, and all 3 we've gone straight away. This is how it helps.
Yeah.
So people that are scared to perform a 5 rep max back squat, which we'll speak about squats in a moment, but people are scared to do that. So like, well, I don't need to do that. I'm an endurance athlete. Yeah. But actually, we've just said the more you can lift, the higher power to weight ratio you can have, and then we then transfer that into that explosiveness and to try and move as quick as we can, move that force as quick as we can.
Yeah.
So we've just gone through really quickly
And also, so I was talking to one of the athletes that I coached the other day, and been trying to like work a lot on her S&C stuff, and I think it's a weird thing that a lot of endurance athletes, they think that they hit the gym once, they're going to get big, they're going to put on muscle. Like you've said it before, it is very hard to put on muscle. Bodybuilders find it extremely hard to put on muscle, and they're going to the gym twice a day, 6-7 days a week. Like you will, if you're doing a load of endurance and you're doing 3 S&C sessions a week, you are not going to put on a load of muscle, are you? Like it's going to be good and beneficial, but you're not going to 3 weeks later look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're doing too much endurance training, aren't you, to do that? Like if you were doing 10 S&C or 5 S&C sessions and 1 run and 1 bike for half an hour, then yes, your body composition will change. But the amount of training that you're doing, this is only to compensate that training. Things such as cleans or box jumps or kettlebell swings, where we're having to generate heavy forces quickly through. I say heavy forces, we only really typically go to 40 to 60% of our 1RM, or roughly. We don't want to be lifting like 90% of our 1RM as fast as we can, because we're not going to do that fast, are we?
Yeah.
So we want to be lifting with a slight lower load, but quickly and with
and that's where like
intensity.
the endurance specific stuff comes in, isn't it? You know, you're moving a weight quickly to become more efficient at lifting that weight, because there's no point in lifting like super heavy and just doing a load of 1 rep max, but moving that weight quickly through repetition is going to be specific.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really simple. A split squat where your feet are just wide apart and your knee travels down to the floor. I might actually give a little demo of this. So a split squat would just be from here, and you're simply you can even just do this body weight. I'm already unbalanced, and you're simply just travelling down, knee over the ankle. So we're looking for a vertical shin, same as what we were on a bike, for the pedal stroke.
Yeah.
We don't want that knee going too far over because we're going to lose power, so we want that knee over the ankle, and then standing back up. We can do this a number of times, and eventually we'll feel that in our quads, and hopefully we may even feel a little bit of a stretch in that hip flex as well as we do that, depending on how mobile you are. But we can then progress that into like a reverse lunge from here, because this exercise here requires a little bit more balance because we're only on 1 foot for a period of time. We can then perform like a deficit reverse lunge into a walking lunge, and then we can then even, got a chair.
Bulgarian split squat.
Sorry Lydia, sorry Harry, because I'm using your chair. But yeah, we can
Not
then
my
raise,
chair, it's fine.
we can then raise one leg, and again we're looking at that split squat, and we're looking, bad example, knee over that ankle with a rear leg raised, and then start to add weight.
Add weight, yeah.
So straight away there, we've got
A load of progression there.
a ton of exercises.
You're knackered.
I know, yeah. Knackered now. Don't follow me for my workout vids. But straight away there, we've got a ton of exercises that I've literally just reeled off the bat. P.S. Generally, half of the exercises aren't even wrote down on them.
Yeah, I know. You literally got a whiteboard down there. None of them.
Got a ton of exercises on there. I haven't even used any of them. But so
I guess like what you're trying to get across is like people think they just need to go in the gym and do squats, don't they? And like actually, there are far better exercises to be doing, aren't there?
Yeah. And a squat, again, is a quite complex move. Like, so many triathletes, if they've been doing triathlon for a long period of time and haven't really been doing mobility, so many triathletes don't have the mobility to perform a squat. I'm telling you now, like, I generally do not have I do not have good enough mobility without Olympic lifting shoes or a heel lift in order to perform an effective
squat. That's what I've been doing. I've been putting a 5 kilo plate underneath my heel and just doing that because that allows me to have good posture.
Yeah, exactly. And so many people are like, try and do squats with bad form, which will then make them more injured. And then they have a negative mindset to S&C. But we look at a squat, and it's not the be all and end all exercise. Neither is a deadlift. And cycling is essentially like one leg squats, isn't it? Really,
a load of single leg squats.
A hell of a lot of times. But so we can perform far better exercises. Don't get me wrong, a squat is an amazing exercise if you have the right mobility.
If you're Sonny Webster, feel free.
Yeah,
but not many people have his mobility. I can't remember who it was who mentioned it to me, but your body is like water. It will take the path of least resistance, and it will get used to that. So if you're sat down all the time, your body will be in that. You'll stand up and you'll start standing like that. Yeah. Your body takes the path of least resistance, and it will get used to that, and that will be your new norm. So if you're not moving about, if you're not doing exercise, if you're not doing any of this mobility stuff, S&C, you're going to end up like a vegetable.
Oh, I love that analogy. I've never heard of it like that.
Knowledge.
Yeah, class.
It's the new shaved head. It's
giving the extra, not easier to take in knowledge. A lot of people have sat down jobs and their glutes are long here, so a lot of people will typically have weaker glutes and like yourself.
Yeah, massively, yeah.
You then have other areas to try and make up for that loss of strength in the glutes.
And your body will try and find a way to produce the power. But if the power's not there, if the strength isn't there in your glutes, it's going to find it from some other muscles that aren't designed for that job, i.e. the lower back. And the lower back muscles are nowhere near as big as the glute muscles. And so you're going to end up with pain, which is exactly what I had, because my body was recruiting muscles that weren't designed for that specific job. So, train the specific muscles is basically,
Yeah. And then we then look to actually train outside of them specific muscles, don't we? Because everything that we do is very linear, like is very forward and back. Swimming, we don't really go side to side. Cycling, we certainly never do go side to side, although our handles
dodging a pothole.
But our body isn't going side to side, and we're not moving in a lateral motion. And same with running. Like if you're sidestepping and you're running, I'm probably going to tell you
Someone's going wrong.
You probably need a gait analysis if you're sidestepping. But like,
shouldn't be doing triathlon.
yeah, this is where like that postural, and we now mention the postural strength as we did from the swim, comes into play of the hip mobility and the hip strength. Because if you typically find a lot of cyclists again may bring their knees in because they don't have that strength on either the outside or the inside of their leg to keep that leg moving in a straight motion. So you need to have strength in the outside and the inside of the leg as well, just to be kind of like symmetrical as well.
Yeah, symmetrical and be like solid. Also, with regards to like the going back on ourselves, like the squatting and stuff, like when you squat, you don't know if you've really got a weakness. Whereas if you're doing the split squats, I've done it before and I'm like, damn, my right leg is way weaker than my left leg. And that actually makes me think, oh yeah, because actually when I've looked at my power profile before, it says my left leg does 52% of the work, my right leg does 48%. That's quite interesting. So that's reinforcing that. Okay, well now I need to work a little bit more on my right leg, or go to failure on my right leg and only go to that amount on my left leg, so I'm not overworking my left leg, so my right leg is getting to the level of my left leg. That's why you need to work those imbalances, and actually doing like, squat or deadlift, you don't get those imbalances, do you? Like it's impossible for you to notice.
Yeah, exactly. It's certainly very, very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's really the cycling episode over. Like we've mentioned a lot of strength stuff.
Yeah.
More strength stuff. Prepare for the run. The
running
strong. One gets even more complicated.
Yeah.
Wait till next week of the running one.
Oh my! It's going to be a complete just mind fuck.
If you've got a notebook, then write down some stuff. But hopefully you can take away quite a lot of points from these episodes.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and as always, like, if you do have any questions or you want to ask Scott something specific, just drop it in the comment section below, and we'll definitely get back to you. And also, all of Scott's social media links are in the description below, so please do go and check them out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and follow him on Instagram. And next week is running. Stay tuned for that, and we hope you're looking forward to it. Let's go and order a Nando's.
Yes.